In the middle of the Indian Ocean, more than 2,000 kilometers off the southeast coast of Africa, lies a teardrop-shaped island wrapped in coral reefs and whispered legends. Mauritius, a name that sounds like a lullaby, was once thought to be just another forgotten outpost of empire, a sugar plantation wrapped in turquoise seas. But that was then. Today, Mauritius is a silent revolution, a tropical laboratory of multicultural democracy, economic resilience, and environmental reinvention. A place where the ghosts of colonialism still walk, but the future whispers in code, JavaScript and fintech, not cane fields and rum. How did this tiny island, just over 2,000 square kilometers, rise from a fragile monocrop economy into one of Africa's most vibrant and stable nations? This is the story of Mauritius, not the travel brochure. The real story, the soul of Mauritius, is complicated. The island was uninhabited until the Dutch landed in 1598, and it passed through Dutch, French, and British hands before gaining independence in 1968. With each colonizer came waves of labor: enslaved Africans, indentured Indians, Chinese traders, tossed together in a forced cultural experiment. What emerged wasn't chaos, but a miracle. A country where Hindus, Muslims, Christians, and Buddhists live side by side. The Mauritian flag, red for struggle, blue for peace, yellow for sunshine, green for the land, tells the whole story. Unity in diversity is not just a slogan here, it's a survival strategy. But survival didn't come easy. In the early years of independence, Mauritius teetered on the edge of collapse. Its economy depended on sugar exports. One hurricane could wipe out the nation's entire GDP. But then came a bold pivot. "We had to diversify or die," says Dr. Arvind Boulel, former foreign minister, in an interview recorded in Port Louis. "So we did everything at once: tourism, textiles, financial services, IT. We said yes to globalization before anyone else in the region." And it worked. The government launched free education. They opened the island to investors, but protected its sovereignty with strict regulations. The Mauritius miracle, economists called it. The GDP grew, the poverty rate fell, and the World Bank began calling Mauritius the tiger of the Indian Ocean. But beneath the numbers, deeper questions remain. Who really benefited from the growth? What price did the island pay for progress? Mauritius is now facing its biggest test, not economic, but existential. Rising sea levels, coral bleaching, and tropical cyclones threaten to erase in decades what took centuries to build. In August 2020, a Japanese oil tanker ran aground off the coast of Mauritius, spilling over 1,000 tons of oil into its pristine lagoons. The world watched in horror. But what followed was something more powerful: a national awakening. Young Mauritians, many with no history of activism, formed human chains, cleaned beaches, and demanded justice. "We are not just a paradise," one activist shouted through a megaphone. "We are a people." Today, Mauritius is investing heavily in green energy, sustainable tourism, and ocean conservation. It's trying to become the world's first fully climate-resilient island nation. It's an urgent uphill battle. Walk through ebony Cyber City, and it's hard to believe you're on the same island. Glass towers rise beside sugarcane fields. Digital nomads sip espresso next to local programmers building blockchain apps. Mauritius wants to be a bridge between Africa and Asia, a place where tradition meets innovation. But some warn of growing inequality. The cost of living is rising. Land is being sold to foreigners. Young people, though educated, face a tough job market. Still, most Mauritians remain fiercely proud. "We are small," says Yashna, a 27-year-old environmental engineer. "But we have big dreams. Mauritius is not finished. We are still writing our story." As the sun sets over Le Morne, the mountain that once sheltered escaped slaves, Fishermen cast nets into the sea, prayer flags dance in the wind, and the scent of dol puri fills the air. Mauritius is not perfect, but it is real. A country with a past carved by empires and a future forged by its own hands. In a world increasingly divided, Mauritius dares to be united, and that might be its most revolutionary act of all.